Hello everyone, this is Dr. Sankari Kasi and I am a family medicine primary care physician based here in California. Today I'm going to discuss about an important topic which is your bladder health, your urinary health, and also how can you prevent this recurrent or repeated urinary infection. And I'm going to importantly give you these 8 best tips in order to prevent these repeated or recurrent urinary infection. If you are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe to my channel and let's get into the video. So these urinary infections are very common. So in women more than 60% and in men more than 12%, they get at least one UTI in their whole lifetime. If you're having a urinary infection, you could be potentially having like a burning sensation, that is pain when you urinate, or you have a sensation of frequently going to the bathroom, and some of them they say that even if they go to the bathroom, they don't completely empty the bladder. Or some of them they also can have fever or chills or nausea or vomiting. Some of them have the pelvic pain or like a lower abdominal pain with the cramps and back pain. And some of them have a sensation of totally feeling unwell. If you have any of those symptoms, go ahead and talk to the provider and they can do a simple urine test with a culture to find out whether you are having a urinary infection or not. And repeated urinary infection is if you are having at least 2 culture proven infection in the last 6 months, or if you have 3 or more urinary infection which is culture proven in the last 1 year, then you could be potentially having what is called as this recurrent UTI or the recurrent urinary tract infection. This can affect your quality of life. It's difficult for you to travel, it's difficult for you to socialize, it's difficult for you to go out just because it affects you or bothers you because of this repeated as well as recurrent urinary infection. Let's look into what are all the root causes for that and how can we fix it because of the food, the supplements, and also different lifestyle changes, so you can prevent this repeated urinary infection and also you can promote a healthy bladder. So I'm going to give you the most important 8 steps in order to prevent these recurrent UTI. The number one, the foremost, the important step is the hydration. So you have to make sure that you drink lots of fluids. So usually you have to drink at least more than 1.5 liters of water per day. You can go up to 1.5 to up to 2.5 liters of water per day. In one of the largest study which was published in JAMA 2018 internal medicine article, they compared women who was taking more than 1.5 liters of water and they compared women who had less than 1.5 liters of water per day, and they found out that the cystitis, which is the painful bladder syndrome, which was very less, which was 50% reduction in the women who had more than 1.5 liters of water per day. So it's very important to make yourself hydrated. The reason behind this, the water can dilute those bacteria. It also helps you to flushes out the bacteria from your urinary tract system. It also reduces the adhesion of these bacteria in the urinary system. So it's very important for you in order to prevent these recurrent UTI. So the second most important step is do not hold your urine for longer periods of time. Especially if someone who is traveling or if you are busy during the day, some people they tend to hold their urine for longer period of time and that can cause this growth of this bacteria. So make sure to take scheduled bathroom breaks, and during those bathroom breaks you should try the double void technique. That is, sit in the potty and then try to completely empty the bladder, sit there for extra 10 more seconds, lean forward and see if you can completely empty the bladder. And if you can do that, this can also help you to prevent a recurrent urinary infection because whatever residual urine can also trigger the growth of the bacteria. The third most important is avoid the food that can trigger or overstimulate your bladder, of which the number one is the caffeine. So coffee, tea, sodas, your energy drink has to be reduced because this can overstimulate your bladder. If you are someone like me who drink coffee or tea, make sure to change it into decaffeinated coffee or tea, and also make sure that you reduce the amount of coffee or tea you drink in a day. And number 2 is you have to avoid alcohol. And number 3 is any amount of carbonated drinks can also overstimulate your bladder. Number 4 is your tomato sauces can overstimulate your bladder, so make sure that you avoid that. And also your citrus fruits and juices, your lemon as well as your oranges can overstimulate your bladder. And then your spicy food, you have to watch out for the spicy food that can also irritate your bladder. And then the last one to look out for is your artificial sweetness. And we do have the diet sodas, and also there are so much of sugar-free products available, and those artificial sweetness can irritate your bladder or overstimulate your bladder, causing this repeated urinary infection. So the next most important one to add in your diet is the cranberries. So these cranberries, it has got proanthocyanidins, which we call as a PACs, which prevents the adhesion of the E. coli to the bladder cell walls. So it is very important that it will help you to prevent this recurrent urinary infection. In one of the Cochrane review study, they reviewed like 50 trials, and they found out that taking this cranberry regularly has prevented the risk of having a urinary infection for women, especially if they are having a recurrent UTI. And also one of the recent randomized control study in 2025, they found out that taking this cranberry in the form of a powder reduces a UTI by 25%. So it's very important you can add that, especially if you're someone having a recurrent or repeated UTI. And the most important things to remember is cranberry is available in the form of the fresh form or frozen form, or some of them it's a capsule or powder form that you can take it. Make sure not to take those sweetened cranberry juice, because this excess amount of sugar is not good for someone, especially if you are having a urinary tract infection. Another thing to remember with the cranberry is cranberry can also has moderate amount of oxalate. So someone who has a recurrent kidney stones, make sure to watch out for those cranberries and take that in moderation. The fifth most important point is your food. There is two important types of the food that you need to focus on. Number one is your anti-inflammatory food, and also the food that can improve your immune system, of which make sure that you include large amounts of the fresh fruits and vegetables, and also some of the legumes are also very good and important for that. And the superfoods, which includes your garlic, your thyme, your rosemary. So these are some of them also have its antibacterial, anti-inflammatory properties for that. Make sure to also add turmeric in your diet, because these are some of the food that can help you to boost your immune system. It also helps you to prevent these recurrent urinary infections from happening. Another important one is mostly the probiotic. And if you are taking a plant-based diet, the most important probiotics that you can get is your yogurt, your kefir, your buttermilk. And then those are the ones that you have to make sure to include that in your diet, because these good bacteria requires all of your probiotics. These probiotics will promote your gut health, which in turn improve your immune system, which will also help you to flush out and also prevent these recurrent urinary infection from happening. So the other important food to consider is food that is rich in the vitamin C, vitamin D, as well as the zinc, because these are the immune boosters which will help you to get rid of this urinary infection. Vitamin C, as you know, it is mostly present in the fresh fruits, as well as the rich amount of vegetables, as well as the citrus containing foods has got rich amount of vitamin C in that. And then the vitamin D is mainly from the sunlight, or you can take it in the form of a supplement, or some of the food are fortified in the vitamin D. Your juices or milk has got some vitamin D in that. And then zinc is mostly from the legumes as well as from the seeds. And especially for the vitamin C, how it works is it makes the urine acidic, and it also generates this nitric oxide, which will help the bacterial growth. That is, it prevents those bacterial growth, and also it produces this biofilm, so that prevents the adherence of the bacteria, especially the E. coli. In one of the recent studies, they found out that the patients who have been taking the cranberry, vitamin C, as well as the lactobacillus, they found out they had a huge significant reduction of their UTI in 3 months. But you have to also remember that extra amount or higher amount or doses of vitamin C can also irritate your bladder. So someone who have been having cystitis or a painful bladder syndrome, you have to make sure that you have to talk to your provider regarding the doses of the vitamin C. The sixth most important step is prevent the constipation. If you are constipated, it puts extra pressure on the bladder that can also irritate your bladder and causes these bladder spasms. So make sure that you add fluids in your diet, which is 1.5 to 2 liters of water per day. And the most important thing is to add some fiber. So as an adult, you will need 26 to 28 grams of fiber per day, which involves like 5 servings of fresh fruits as well as the vegetables. So add as much as of fiber as you can. That will also prevent you from constipation, and also make sure to have a good amount of movement. So get up and walk around. That will also prevent you from having a constipation. So the next one to discuss about is D-mannose. It has got some mixed evidence about that. So the D-mannose is a simple sugar. It is found in some of the fruits and it is structurally related to glucose. In 2013, in a study in a World Journal of Urology, they found out that D-mannose, when it is given, it is as effective as taking the antibiotic nitrofurantoin with the less amount of the side effects. And then in one of the other rigorous randomized control study, they found out that taking this D-mannose daily, which was not effective more than the placebo. So what does that mean is, like, D-mannose is not taken as a prophylactically. That is, someone who is looking for to prevent the urinary infection, the D-mannose is not given. If you are someone who are having an active infection and if your provider is concerned about multiple drug resistance, so D-mannose can be recommended by your provider, and it is available as over the counter in the form of a powder or a capsule form, which is taken as a 2 grams. So that's the clinical evidence we have about the D-mannose. The Lactobacillus based probiotics have been very helpful for women, especially in the postmenopausal, in order to prevent this recurrent or repeated urinary infection. So the Lactobacillus, which lowers your vaginal pH, so it also lowers the growth of the bacteria. It also produces a mucin production and also forms a biofilm, so that it prevents the adherence of the bacteria into your vaginal as well as the uroepithelial cells for that. So one of the study, which was a randomized double-blinded placebo study, they found out that the postmenopausal women, especially when they are given this vaginal Lactobacillus probiotics, they found out their recurrence of the urinary infection lowered from 70% to 40% less chance of having a repeated or a recurrent urinary infection. So that was a clinically significant study. So the next important is I want to discuss about is why these repeated or recurrent infection is more common in women, especially if they are postmenopausal. As you know, this estrogen is most important in maintaining the thickness as well as the elasticity of the vaginal as well as the uroepithelial tissues. It also promotes this normal mucosa with the lactobacillus, which lowers the pH. So when the pH is acidic, it prevents those colonization of the bacteria. So what happens is postmenopausal is, as we lose the estrogen, so it becomes thinned out. That's what we call as an atrophy of the vaginal tissue, and it also loses the elasticity for that. So both the vaginal cells as well as your uroepithelial cells, they go through the thinning of the tissue, and they also lose those lactobacillus. The pH goes up, and also with the micro trauma, there is a colonization of the bacteria, and that's why more amount of recurrent urinary infection is more common in the women, especially in the postmenopausal. And this can save millions of people, especially if you are postmenopausal. Make sure you use this vaginal estrogen cream. So talk to your provider. So what happens is, this is a vaginal estrogen cream which is applied topically. So it will help you in rebuilding the thickness as well as the elasticity of your vaginal cells. It also promotes the growth of the lactobacillus, which in turn increase your pH, which becomes acidic, so that it prevents this repeated or recurrent urinary infection from happening. So this is very important for you, and talk to your provider about the vaginal estrogen cream if you are someone who have been having this repeated or recurrent urinary infection in the postmenopausal state. The other latest update I want to let you know is the methenamine hippurate. So the American Neurological Association has recently acknowledged that this is one of those supplements that can be taken in order to prevent these recurrent UTI. So this methenamine, it changes or turns into formaldehyde when it reaches the urine, and that can act as an antiseptic or antibacterial agent, so that can tackle these bacteria. So make sure to talk to your provider whether you will be the right candidate to take this in order to prevent these recurrent urinary infection. I hope this video answers a lot of questions about what are all the lifestyle changes that you can do, what are all the food that you can focus on, and what are all the supplement that is available as over the counter that you can do in order to prevent this recurrent urinary infection. If you are someone who have tried any other supplements or any other diet changes and that has been specifically helpful for you in order to prevent this urinary infection, make sure to share that in the comment. And also, if you have any friend or family who have been going through this repeated or recurrent urinary infection, make sure to share this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in my next video.